Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to my real estate report for April of 2025. Well, I don't have to tell you there are a lot of things going on in the news right now that affects the housing market. So I'm going to give you 3 quick points to keep in mind as we're well into 2025 in a moment. But first, the question a lot of people are asking is, are we headed into a recession? Well, who knows? But you know what we do know is how the housing market typically responds if there is a recession, which affects the value of your home and, of course, interest rates if you're thinking about buying a home. Let's take a look at all the recessions since the 1980s. And in the last 40 years, there have been 6 recessions in this country, and understanding what happens to home prices during that time is important. Well, check this out. During 4 of the 6 recessions, prices actually went up 4 out of 6 times, and twice they went down. Well, you know what? They went down once a little bit in the early 1990s, and what everybody remembers, though, is the 2008 when prices dropped by almost 20%. Ouch. So, if we do see a recession, does that mean prices of homes are automatically going to drop? And if we do have another recession, is it possible that prices will drop again like in the year 2008? Well, you know what? Probably not, because almost 40% of homes in the United States are owned free and clear. Another 28% are equity rich, and that means they have over 50% equity in their homes. And of course, keep in mind the millions of people who have interest rates in the 2 and 3% range. Now, if there is any good news about a possible recession, it's that mortgage rates usually come down during a recession. Again, going all the way back to the 80s, you can see that in each recession, mortgage rates actually came down. And what have we seen since the beginning of this year? Well, we've seen mortgage rates come down a little bit. So the 3 things to keep in mind as we're well into the second quarter of 2025. First of all, we need to understand the reality that inventory is growing nationally and in Colorado Springs. A year ago in El Paso County in March of 24, we had 1,869 homes for sale, and this year we have 2,629. Now, something to remember, when we went into the Great Housing Recession almost 20 years ago, we had right at 7,000 homes for sale. 7,000 homes. Amazing. That's a lot more than right now. Okay, now back to this year. Look at the difference between the new listings going on the market this year versus last. Over 300 more homes, which is great news for home buyers, of course, who have been struggling with low inventory of housing to choose from for years. Now, the second thing to keep in mind or to understand is the growth of the number of homes for sale is causing prices to moderate. Look at this graph. Look how flat our prices have been in Colorado Springs over the last 12 months. The price of a home is almost exactly the same today as it was a year ago. So inventory is growing, that moderates prices, and the bottom line is that because homes are taking a little longer to sell right now, according to Realtor.com, the average time it takes a house to sell in the United States is 53 days, and in Colorado Springs, well, it's 62 days, up from 56 a year ago. So while much of the rest of the economy is on a bit of a roller coaster right now, the housing market remains stable. You got questions, comments about how this affects you? Well, give me a call, shoot me a text or an email. Otherwise, I'll see you next month. Have a great day.